Hello, Eugenia here with Heart Over Me. I have today to talk somebody from even more far than the US. It is from New Zealand. And as always, I would like to ask you to introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Gabriel Heimler. Uh, I have painted they opened the Berlin Wall, the wall jumper. And I have this luck because in every time they speak about my jumper, I change nationality. When I have painted the wall jumper, they say Gabriel Heimler have painted the wall jumper. He is a French citizen
Mhm.
and he painted the wall jumper to commemorate the opening of the Berlin Wall. After that, I become, for other journalists, a German citizen that I painted the wall jumper, the Mauerspringer.
Mhm.
Between, I get some people, they say, the Hungarian citizen, he painted the wall jumper.
Mhm.
On two time, I read the last time in the article, Gabriel Heimler,
Yeah.
the New Zealand citizen, he painted the wall jumper. So since I did art school in France, I have a teacher. He was the student of Klimt in Budapest.
Oh.
So I have a double education, French and Hungarian.
Oh.
But I speak with my grandma German. So I have a plurial education. I am very happy to live in New Zealand,
Mhm.
where I'm more interested about Maori culture.
Ah, that's beautiful. You know, I also lived in almost all places you have been mentioning, exception your last living place where you're living now in New Zealand. But it happened something. I just started meeting people from New Zealand, like you and your beautiful family. So you have been having a beautiful journey around the world. And as you are now, you are a worldwide known painter. Your works are seen by million of people who are coming to Berlin and to visit the Berlin Wall. And it is the most famous painting there. It is yours. So what would you say now?
Can I interrupt you?
Yes, please.
I painted this wall jumper. Why is so famous? Because this painting was the first and unique painting where I tried to capture the other, the
Oh,
spirit of Berlin of this time.
yeah.
Every Berliner or every German, perhaps every world citizen are a war champion.
Yes.
But that have 4 million visitors a year. But for me, what is most important, I painted a mural here again, the National Museum in the capital of New Zealand, Wellington, the
Oh.
mover.
Mhm.
And is the same figure as a war jumper. So I unified the planet with
Ah,
the same figure. And this
please
figure is
repeat.
not a
You-
German, is not the French, is not the American,
Yes.
is the human potential. The human can do everything.
So
That I
can
try
you
to capture.
repeat? Can you please repeat because it's very interesting. What have you painted? Which painting is in Wellington International Museum? Can you repeat
No,
it?
it's again the National Museum. In
Oh,
you have one unique huge place in Wellington. You have the National Museum, and again you have the museum hotel. Is a hotel is the most luxurious hotel of the city.
mhm.
And this hotel was the biggest building. He was moved in the south hemisphere. And when I come here, the director of the hotel, he's a big art lover and art collector because this hotel is a museum.
Okay.
And uh, he asked me, "Can you paint me the wall jumper? I want to have more German tourists
Oh,
because German tourists bring money."
Yeah.
And I say, it's impossible. You have a beautiful hotel,
Yeah.
but I cannot paint the Berlin Wall of your hotel
Mhm.
because we are in New Zealand. But I Google and I look, his hotel was moved to make place for the National Museum.
Mhm.
So I painted the mover, the guy, he moved the hotel of his hotel with
Wow.
the same face as the Berlin, as the painting of the Berlin Wall.
Wow. So in that way, you connected the worlds over the seas.
So, through time, a lot of New Zealander, uh, I don't know, did you have heard about this problem that um, in 19th century, some was a big collections of head.
Yeah.
So you have in different museums in France, in Great Britain, perhaps in the States too, head of Maori uh, people with tattoo who make little.
Yeah. Wow.
And New Zealand asked the head back
Mhm.
because that is a part of the Maori heritage.
Yeah.
This head was horrible because some Scottish business people asked the Maori chef to kill some slave
Yeah.
to get money
Yeah.
against it. That was a horrible story. But I begin to collect New Zealand photos or head of people because they send me their photos when they are before the Berlin Wall. And
Oh,
they think that is the Wellington painting was the first.
wow. Wow. That's
Because for here in Wellington, this mover is in Lonely Planet as landmark of the city of Wellington.
wow.
But
Wow.
I am in landmark in city of Berlin too.
Yeah. That's why you are the citizen of the world and traveling
Yeah.
over the
Is
world.
no, I don't know if citizen of the world because I wish to do other this form of mural in other big city
Yeah. Yeah.
or in other place, but I need to have the place
Yeah.
on the context to have something unique to tell.
Yes. Yes. For sure. That's the.
Is not real Bansky. Bansky attacks some place or make all the time his staff of the place. He don't respect the place or he don't respect the people of the place. I try to tell the story of people.
Yeah.
Also, I was very happy that we did that with my wife, the Wellingtoner. The Berliner I did alone.
Yeah.
The Wellingtoner um, we was voted
Mm-hmm.
the best offside artwork for
Nice.
the citizen from Wellington.
Mhm.
Well, that is, I think, the best thing what I can have is when the citizen recognize himself what you did yourself,
Yeah.
and not you impose your view for the citizen.
Mm. As you mentioned right now, you're working with your wife, with
Yes,
Anna Krop, which I
Anna.
hope we will have also possibility to interview or maybe all you together next time. But what I like, and this is really represents your personality, you put background in the background a painting of you. And when we started doing before I started recording, I told you that I cannot see you clearly your face, and you told me it's not important, you know, I that's my work, that's me, I represent me in this way. That also shows a lot about your personality, how you are, and how you see the world. And what you say that you are coming to the place and you see what is important, you are creating regarding that place. That also shows a lot of respect and how people, at least, we should be in our planet, that we are coming to the area, but we are connecting with this area, we are respecting who is.
When I come in, when we have come in New Zealand, my first step was not to say I want to say I am a Berliner artist. I have 20-year experience in Berlin. I have sold in Sotheby's in New York. I have exhibit in St. Petersburg. I have exhibit in London. No, no. First step was by the National Library.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We have take all the book out of New Zealand art history.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we have begin to learn as we are young student, what we know nothing.
Yes.
To know everything what we can learn about New Zealand art history.
Mm-hmm.
After, it was very interesting because I don't know why, but I was connected with Maori shaman.
Mm-hmm.
I meet her in one opening. She come by me and say, I know in Berlin you are the curator.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Can you help me to make me my exhibitions? I said,
Wow.
well, yes, why not? Why I answer so? Because she have something what she come out from her. I don't know what, um, but that was more that my grandma in Hungary, but not in Budapest. My other grandma in the place is Kölesd, is Tolna megye, is not far away from Balaton, a sea
Oh, yeah.
central Hungarian
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
with
The
beautiful
Sea of
wine.
Hungary.
In Hungary, she introduced me in some Maori, not Maori, some shamanic or um, Taltosh connections. We feel the nature, we sing, we lose ourselves, and she speak with the element.
Okay.
And, when I see this Maori shaman or Maori artist,
Mm-hmm.
um, she, I have a feeling I know her. I
Yeah.
know how to speak. And I never have think in my art career before about my grandma. I have loved my grandma. I visited her every year. I have helped her in the land to make wine
Mm-hmm.
or
Oh.
to cut tree.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't have think about her heritage.
Yeah.
I was more connected with Budapest, with Rudolf Lang, the student from Klimt,
Mm-hmm.
from Beaux-Arts in Paris, or after all my functions in Berlin. But I didn't have think about my grandma. She go to help me in other way.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she have helped me when I didn't ask her. And what I did with Hayes. With Hayes, I asked her, come with me. We go in the National Museum. Look, I painted opposite from the National Museum with my companion. I included my companion in my work.
Mm-hmm.
So I asked Hayes, we go in the National Museum to see a miraille, to see a
The wall.
waka, to see all this Maori stuff,
Yeah.
traditional boat, house, place for the grain.
Mm-hmm.
On take a paper and draw.
Ah.
And when you draw, you go to find what you want to do.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So that was my first step to work with her. After I have included her wish with
Mm-hmm.
some artwork what I know from Europe.
Okay.
What I mix together is all the time I work with inclusions. Uh, we speak in music about fusions.
Mm-hmm.
We love world music with the fusions, this and that. And I can say I do in some way a fusions of culture.
Yeah. Definitely.
And I have take here in my background a very interesting painting, hold on, very interesting earth painting. We did this year was very no, it was last year. Last year they asked her we have the proof that Gauguin was in Aotearoa. Aotearoa is New Zealand in
Okay.
Maori language. So we say we must to have the confrontations, inclusions, confrontations, or war. All confrontation, inclusion is a form of war or is with Gauguin. How I can work with Gauguin or not to be Gauguin.
Yes. Yeah.
So as I included Anna, my companion, in my artwork, I included the Gauguin in my artwork.
Wow.
And we finished these exhibitions. Gauguin in Aotearoa was a very good success. We sold nearly all the painting. But I have a visit from a Chinese gallerist.
Mhm.
He shows me for the Biennale in Beijing
Okay.
last August. And he said, I want to have all this work. I said, it's impossible because I promised this work for other gallerists and other person. Or with the embassy from Hungary, embassy from Poland, he worked with us and with two other galleries. So we don't can give you. I said, can you include the Chinese culture inside? Well, that was the next step. We did a new series with the Chinese element.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that was the reason I have taken this background, because to speak about these inclusions of culture, of element, in
Yeah.
and I think that is uh, my reality,
Yeah.
and perhaps the future reality. We don't. Perhaps we have this corona virus.
Mhm.
Everybody is blocked, but
Yeah.
the mind are open.
Yes. That's what we do now. That's how we spend our time. That's what we do. We do like, and what I see, like I see the lady in Lila, which is doing Tai Chi form.
I don't know. I think
She looks like,
we have here this lady here. Here we have one Tai Chi and here a ballet.
ah, yeah.
The ballet, why ballet? Because when you go in a national ballet of Berlin
Mhm.
or in New Zealand, you see some Chinese dancer too. I remember when I was in opera in Budapest.
Mhm.
I was child and was this very, very famous uh, Japanese conductor
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
that is not
Yeah.
new in the classic music, this connections of the culture.
Yeah.
But in painting too, that I don't think Gauguin did what he did when he don't take the background of the Japanese or Chinese estamp.
Mhm.
His form of painting was he used the Asiatic or the Asian art, this
Mhm.
estamp technique,
Mhm.
and he make all the time reference of his Peruvian background,
Mhm. Yeah.
because the French love to say, ah, Gauguin was a French artist, but his mother was Peruvian.
Yeah. 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 That's, yeah. I have one question. How much heart do you have in your life? And how much ego?
We have.
Heart and ego. Because the topic I'm doing interviews is heart over me. How much in your life you are following your heart? You take decisions regarding your heart. And how much still there is head?
I don't know. I think uh, I have other. Uh, we don't do all the time with the heart, or with the head. I think we do a lot of things because we are not sure of about ourselves,
Mhm.
or we must to do something uh, because we don't know. Um, because my European heritage,
Mhm.
because my family background,
Mhm.
I know I must to go back in Germany when I was 20,
Mhm.
because I was afraid with the German heritage.
Mhm.
I wanted, my big dream was to look in the face of the citizen for the Berlin citizen. So my wall jumper was not my most important wish in Berlin. My most important wish was to exhibit in the Kudamm, the Champs-Élysées, or the highest avenue of Berlin. I was there 20, I think, 20 years in the most famous gallery, the Laden Gallery. And what was for me very important, that my figure looked the citizen.
Mhm.
To, uh, uh, to sell or not to sell is all the time better to sell, but my my real wish was to say, I am, to tell him, I am here.
Okay.
You want to destroy me, you wanted to destroy my family
Mhm.
or my heritage,
Mhm.
but I am here.
Mm.
And but I was 16 when I wished that.
Mhm.
And when I was over 40,
Mhm.
I have understand that we don't can live for the past from my grandparents or the past from my mother. I must to live for my personal life.
Definitely.
And uh, so I didn't go for my heart. I go for uh, you have a very nice word in German. The German thinks that Germany is the head of the planet. You have Immanuel Kant, Hegel, you have Heidegger. I prefer Nietzsche as philosopher, is a country on the language of the philosopher. And I have seen that I wasn't happy in Germany.
Yeah.
I found Germany in his form, for me, little provincial.
Mhm.
Provincial, not provincial in the bad form. It's not because we live here in Wellington, more little city as in Berlin,
Mhm.
that I think Wellington are more cosmopolitan.
Yeah.
Or you have other place of the planet, it can be a little city, but to have open of the planet.
Yeah.
And I was very happy to left Germany, not to ask me all the time what is my origin, why I am here present,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
why I am in the life,
Mhm.
why I wanted to not to work about myself. I wanted to work about the story
Yeah.
for the other human. I wanted to work with other human and work for the other human. When I did a huge exhibitions uh, um, in train stations or bath, thermal bath, I looked at place where you have a lot of human. And I have included these 26 artists in my exhibitions because I love uh, to
Cooperate.
include the other in my work, or not to see what is my personal little problem.
Yeah. I can confirm, as we met, it is already 1 year, I think, when I was living in Shanghai, in China, and somebody connected us from our common friends that maybe we can support each other in some way. And what I liked about you always, and what I really appreciate, that you always look how you can support somebody. When I started doing interviews, you have been suggesting me, yeah, you can do this. That's very, you work a lot. It doesn't come the painting, each painting takes a lot of time, even preparation. And behind the painting, there's another organizational work. And still you are between Europe, different countries, different continents. That also takes a lot of time. Even learning languages, you speak, I think, 5 languages.
No, I speak only four.
Sorry. So it is,
But I am absolutely dyslexic. I am absolutely dyslexic. I don't know how I did to learn so lot of language. My poor mother, she has sort of problem with me to support me as child because my dyslexia. But I work with my companion. She speaks 7 language,
Wow.
and to home we speak all the time the 4 language. We jump from one language to the other, and yes, I didn't have stopped my relation in Germany. I didn't stop my relations in the state. I work with a beautiful art historiker in the state. I work with my cousin, Austrian background. She make all my corrections in English,
Mhm. Wow.
all my publications.
Yeah.
So on the same time, we are all the time in connections in Italy and other country, uh, because uh, it's great what we have here as connections in New Zealand,
Mhm.
but it's very interesting to see what the other do in other place,
Yeah. Of course.
or not only as art, but not only in painting, because when I did exhibitions, I was curator for installations, for film, or a lot
Mhm.
of different media, but for music and all the rest, and for writing, I love literature. I love this. Uh, is I think the life is a connections, is a connections.
Yeah, many things. And when you say that you are a curator, so you are quite rational artist, very talented artist, very unique one. And in the same time, you are very realistic and you are taking care about many things, about your family, about citoyens, about other peoples, and you are volunteering a lot. That's you are a great example and inspiration for people who if like you say you had difficulties in writing, but on the other hand you had so many other talents. So for many people, if they go to school and if they have some difficulties with one subject, maybe they could be discriminated at school, but in the same time everybody has to know that we all have some talent. We we just need the time to discover it, to allow to grow it. So when you discovered your talent, that you are a painter, that you are good at that, that
Uh,
your way to express.
I remember from philosophy hours, they tell us that we have all talent. Uh, I don't was all the time of the same view as my professor.
Mhm.
She was a big fan of Althusser. Althusser was his professor.
Mhm.
And Althusser was a communist philosopher of the same school in France from Jean-Paul Sartre.
Mhm.
And he goes so far away of the existentialist, he killed his wife. So I don't look. She that was a so big philosopher because I think you must not to kill your wife or not to see how far away you go with your view.
Yeah.
But I don't think we have all talent. I think the most people try to be as the other.
Mhm.
I have a friend a long time ago. He became one of the most important French uh, uh, decorator for he make decor for film
Mhm.
film for film, but for the he did a very nice decor for Robert Wilson too.
Mhm.
And he was a very old guy. He was 26 when I was 18.
Wow.
In this age, a guy he's 26. He is an adult when
Mhm.
we are a child.
Yeah.
When I ask him what is how we can how you know which person become an artist,
Mhm.
and he answered me, you become artist only when you are real crazy.
Yeah.
You and the most people are not crazy, they are reasonable.
Mhm.
When you want to live normally, to have a normal every month money.
Mm-hmm.
And you have good view in your family. You have a good view for women because you can invite them in a restaurant
Mm-hmm.
is or for other place. And don't be artist. When you want to live for the other, uh, to make a show is not the best place to is not the best thing to be artist. I was dyslexic. I come from an intellectual family, and I meet a lot of writers and lot of musicians. My old uncle was the director of the Philharmonic of Budapest. I have a first minister in my family. Uh, so I meet intellectual people around of me. And when you are dyslexic, when you don't can write, is a huge problem for yourself. So I begin to draw, and I have my grandparents have a beautiful villa. That was the villa of the gardener of Schönbrunn, and I think, 10, 12, and I have the feeling that uh, my grandparents are old and they go to die one time.
Mm-hmm.
So I must to draw.
Mm-hmm.
I
Oh.
must to do everything what I have around.
Mm-hmm.
Is because to make a war against the time. And I begin to draw for these reasons. And
Wow.
I have this today the drawing for my grandma, from the villa, from this and that, from this time, but they are in Paris by my parents. But
Wow.
that was the first step from to make art. After I wanted to make, I think I want to be as everybody, but I am in connection with my first big love.
Mm-hmm.
We meet us together, we were 16 or 15, 16.
Mm-hmm.
And we speak some years ago, and I asked her, as every child, we don't know what we want to be. And she tell me, no, it's wrong, Gabriel. I meet you in a bath, and you come by my mother, and you say, my name is Gabriel, and I'm a painter. So you were 16 when you introduce yourself as an artist. And
Wow.
all from us laugh. So I didn't have remember, but she remembered that she laughed because not a lot of child from 16 explain,
Yeah.
I am Gabriel or I am a painter.
Yeah.
So I never did something else. I did a job in my life, uh, different. I did a 6 month other job to survive. But I am 54.
Mm-hmm.
6 months is not big.
Yeah. Sure. Wow. Such
But
interesting.
it's all the time important for me uh, to live from my art because when you live from your art, you have the feeling that people understand. And it's absolutely important that people understand because for me, art is a communion.
Communication also.
Uh, yes, not only communication, but because we work together, but we work with the New Zealand culture. We work with the Maori culture. We included Maori culture as Rita Angus. Rita Angus is one of the most famous New Zealand artists.
Mm-hmm.
We don't see the difference. We don't say that is good, what is bad. We see what we have here.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. What a honor to talk to you and to have this beautiful exchange. So what is next in your plan?
I don't know. I we That is very crazy. We are a little close. This year we have worked about this Chinese series,
Mhm.
and after the Chinese series, I say I want to be something more personal.
Mhm.
And we speak with my companion together, with Anna Prock together, and I say, uh, what is the age The hedge is a plant.
Mhm.
Normally, all the trees want to go direction south and to be happy, to be big, and to take the energy. But what is a hedge? We cut the tree to give the form of the human
Yeah.
wish. Or
Yeah.
you have the French garden, you have the British garden, or you have this all this labyrinth with the, what we do with the hedge.
Mhm. Yeah.
And see, that is us educations.
Mhm.
The education, you tell me everybody is artist. No, the education make everything that you are not an artist. Everything in the education are make to be conform of the wish of your teacher, of your uh, parents, of your I don't know of this of the city. I don't know from what the people ask from you,
Yeah.
and. Uh, so we have begun to work about the hedge on how the hedge is cut, but is a protections too.
Mhm.
But is absolutely we have worked since 6 months about the hedge. On what we have since 2 weeks,
Mhm.
we are closed. We don't can go out because we have this coronavirus. When we say, we work since 6 months about the coronavirus, we uh, we work about how we are closed when we have this little piece of garden and we cannot go and look offside. I
Yeah.
did this painting with the hedge. We see the nice mountains of the background, but the people never look the nature. They look only inside the closing place of
Yeah.
their little garden, their segment.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
That is what we I have uh, uh, I have two or we have two to finish. We did we go to do 7 because we like to look with some numerology.
Oh, you work also with numerology. Okay.
All the time the number are important.
Okay.
And after I want to make nude. I wish we must to make nude. We want to work about nude, but nude other. I love really the work of Freud,
Mhm.
Lucien Freud, because when he work about nude, we have the feeling that the bodies are landscape.
Wow.
And I wish to work about nude, but as we work together, a lot of fun painting are diptych for this reason that we are together. And this time we want to work about nude, but about contact between bodies.
Wow.
Because two time we don't can have contact.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have contact with my child. He live with us. The poor child must to be to time. He don't can go in the school, so he is between the painting and his computer. I am with my companion, but my other friend on other. I work two time sometime with a photographer here, um, with a German photographer. And, she's my neighbor, but we don't can meet one the other.
Yeah.
Und I think the best thing not after this coronavirus, when they go to open the gate,
Yeah.
we must to paint about body,
Yeah.
humanity,
Contact. Yeah.
happiness, and I think nude is the for me nude first time is the human was nude in paradise.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we are not more nude. We have something before the face.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's true. That's very important what you say, because that's exactly what is happening. And the virus, what it makes difficult, that it is isolation. People are isolating, and especially in Europe, where many people they're living alone, but not only, also in China. When I was living there are many people. I was so happy that I had contact with my neighbors. But when I told to my friends, foreigners, that I know my neighbors who are Chinese, they told me, wow, it is very rare. Usually foreigners, they stay between foreigners. And you have for Chinese friends. Wow, that's very rare. That's about all about contact that we are keeping that. Maybe this was now extreme. We have been going to this direction. And now it became very extreme because we are even not allowed. And even on the street, we are not approached. We are not allowed to approach people. We should give 1 meter. So maybe this is the last extreme what we are living, and this isolation.
I don't know where we go. That is very interesting. Very interesting. I was 4 years old when was Prague,
Mhm,
the when the Russian come in Prague.
mhm,
I was in Berlin when they opened the war. And I can say I live these isolations in New Zealand. But I think I have a big luck. I have a big luck
mhm,
because we can go in the bush.
mhm.
In
Yeah,
my background, we have the bush.
yeah,
And we can look the sea.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And I can take my bicycle and go in my studio.
yeah.
In my studio, I have nobody. We do. It's a big building. We go in the building. We have to free with my child, and we work. We give water for the plant
Mhm.
and painting of the canvas.
Wow, beautiful,
But
beautiful.
we need, I do so lot of exhibitions. I do so lot of opening. I love this opening because we meet the people, we make a show, we dress us, we is a form of dancing. I go to make tango too. But not to have the tango, not to have this dancing with the other is very, very limited.
Oh yes, I know, I know. I know. I hope I have very good friend who is doing. He's tango teacher, and I hope to interview him too. I was lucky once to participate in the course, like to learn tango. It is different world, but very big world. And when
Mm.
you learn communicate uh, through body, even before the movement with somebody, that's huge miracle of humans what we are able to do. And this is one way to learn it. And also, it is also interesting how much knowledge, how much you have, and what is behind the walls when you paint, and how beautiful it is. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you that you share, and I hope to interview you again, also with your wife, with
Why?
yeah, and
Oh, you want to make hello? No. She's close. I asked her. But next time.
thank you so much. And I wish you
All
all
the
the
best.
best.
See
Oh, please,
you. Bye.
how to find you? Can you please give her how people can reach you out? Did you have web page?
We write you a web page
Okay. Can you
because
go?
I think they can contact us with the web page.
Okay. Thank you so much. All the best.
See you. Bye.
Bye bye.